What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Week 2 in the NFL. I've got your picks and predictions coming up. But first, let's do a recap of week 1. But in order to do that, we got to bring out a special guest. That's right, the Broom, baby. We swept them. Let's go. All 16 games, all 16 wins. Let's go. Major win this weekend. Let's go. Let me know if you follow. Let me know if you made some money this weekend. All the games were a sweat. But the ones that were the sweatiest were the 49ers, the Bills, and the Vikings. Man, JJ McCarthy, I told you you were going to be the man, and you are. Let's keep it going. And the Bills, man, Josh Allen, that dude is spectacular. 49ers, they sweat it out and got it done, even without Kittle in the second half. It was scary, but we got it. Shout out to Joey. Rest in peace. I love you, man. Go 49ers. You helped me pull out the win on that one. Let's go. All right. We'll put our special guest back here for the episode. There we go. We got his eyes back correct. There we go. He'll hang out back there with us for today. Hopefully, he can bring us some good luck and keep the mojo going. The keys that I pulled away from this last weekend, week 1, I came out and said that the Saints were going to be a dumpster fire, but it turns out they really aren't, and maybe Spencer Rattler has something going for him. So that was a surprise. In the Ravens game, the Ravens they can't pull out big wins. Man, that Bills game was so exciting, but Lamar and Henry had that fumble at the end of the game. It kind of sealed the deal for him. And my final key is Green Bay Packers defense is legit. Let's go. All you can say is the chant, replay that chant from last night's game where all the fans at the end of the game were saying, "Thank you, Jerry." Yeah, man. Hope Jerry Jones knows what he's doing, but I don't know. They lost a big contender on that one. Thursday night football was a big win. Player props, I think only one of them hit. Deebo Samuels for a touchdown. But we got the money line. Green Bay got the win, so let's go. This video is going to be just money line picks. I'm going to have another video with parlays and player props. Hopefully, we can put together another 21 and done parlay. That one struggled this last weekend, but I learned a few things, and hopefully we can run it back and get the win. First, we're going to start off with the New York Giants heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't win, but I saw a lot of good things, and I think they'll bounce back this week. CeeDee Lamb should have a touchdown. Dak loves getting him the ball. I still don't trust the Giants. So for that, we're going to stick with Cowboys for the win. On these ones, like I said last week, for the first couple weeks, I'm going to kind of go fast, play it by how I feel more than looking at the stats. Let the teams kind of get into a smooth run of things. They're all trying to feel each other out. Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, you know the gist. They got to get rolling. So we're going to spitball this a little bit quicker than normal. Next, we've got the Seattle Seahawks going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Last week, the Seahawks had a tough loss against the 49ers. It came down to the very end, and Rodgers had a blowout, or not a blowout, but a shootout win against his old team in the his old team in the Jets. Blah. Give me a couple more weeks, I'll get polished again. Let's go. But like I was saying, Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns in that game, but it seems like the Jets defense isn't what it was last year, and I feel like the Seahawks defense is going to give them a little bit more of a struggle. So look for the Seahawks to bounce back, and my hype isn't up on Rodgers as much as everyone else is, so we're taking Seattle for the win. Next, we've got the Rams heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Honestly, short and sweet. I still don't trust Cam Ward, so we're going to stick with the Rams for the win. And then we go to Miami, where the Patriots take on the Dolphins. Drake May looked really good last week against the Raiders. And Tua looked horrible. He looked confused. He looked dazed and shell-shocked. And Tyreek Hill, where you at, man? I know you got some struggles going on, but you haven't had a 30-yard reception in over a year. So all that being said, I'm going to pick the Patriots to win this one. And then we've got the Jags heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. I'm honestly going to stick with the better defense on this one. I think the Bengals have a better defense than the Jags, and I don't trust the Jags offense. So look for Burrow to come back and have a little bit more of a Burrow-esque game. He only threw for like 100 and some change. I think he's going to get up into the 200s this week. So that being said, we're going to take the Bengals for the win. Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers going to New Orleans to head against the New Orleans Saints. Short and sweet. Without Brock Purdy and George Kittle, I don't think San Francisco has much of a chance. And with the way the Saints played last week, I think they'll bounce back and come out with the win. So we're going to stick with the home team, Saints for the win. And then we've got the Browns heading to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. On this one, look for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to hit hard and fast early and strong. I think they're going to bounce back from last week and show that they are still a Super Bowl or a playoff contender. And so we're going to take the Rams for the win. Then we've got the Broncos heading to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Honestly, I like what I'm seeing from Daniel Jones and the Colts. And it seems like Bo Nix is struggling and their defense is struggling a little bit too. And the Colts defense looks strong. So that being said, I'm gonna stick with the home team, Colts for the win. Next, we've got the Panthers heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Short and sweet. I don't trust Bryce Young. Cardinals for the win. And then a really, really big key matchup this week. Eagles heading to take on the Chiefs in Kansas City. Honestly, I really hope to see Patrick Mahomes continue to struggle. So let's go Eagles. Eagles for the win. The Sunday night matchup, we've got the Atlanta Falcons heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Another short and sweet one. I think J.J. McCarthy is the real deal. He sealed the deal for our 16-0. Won me $1,400 last week, so I'm gonna back him. I'm probably gonna buy his jersey just because he is the man. I love it. I love that he came out with that win. I'm a big J.J. McCarthy fan now. So that being said, we're gonna take the Vikings for the win. And then Monday night, we've got two games. We've got the Bucs heading to Houston to take on the Texans, and then we've got the Chargers heading to Las Vegas to take on my Raiders. Let's start off with the Buccaneers. They struggled last week, but they came out with the win. The Texans looked disheveled, but their defense looked strong. On this one, this is a tough matchup for me. I like C.J. Stroud. Baker Mayfield, I've got my reservations on, but I think I'm on this one. I'm going to stick with Baker Mayfield, and we're going to take the Bucs for the win. And finally, Chargers, Raiders. This is a matchup as old as time, but you know me, Raiders. We're sticking with the Raiders, baby. We got to get that win. We're going to head into week 3, 2-0. Let's go. Those are my favorite picks. Let me know who you're backing, who you like. And as always, let's go.